Oh well, so I'm on my laptop today. Basically my phone really hates me right now and can't fit anything more on it. I've had to remove almost everything, all my apps and everything, and it's still hating me. So I'm going to try recording on this because it's just easier. As you see, I still haven't packed the stock away. My nephew is coming over tomorrow to help me do a stock take, and we'll pack it away then. But there's not going to be a lot of stock in there. I don't actually know. Oh, I think that's all up there. Is where I've all the rest of the yarn. Is that the yarn from? You know, I've been keeping it here to show you as I do it. It's not on my desk and I don't know where it's gone. Is it all up there?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. That's why I couldn't find it. It's moved it because my lunch is actually beside me because I haven't eaten yet. There we go. Should have just asked. Right, anyway, so we're going to open number 19. I will show you that along in the line of the rest of them. And then I thought we'd do an AITA. I've got it in front of me on my phone, which would be easier to read than last time when I was recording on my phone and reading off my laptop. I do have to go out tonight to the Wiltshire Makers. They got a little late night shopping thing for makers and a few friends and things. But I don't know if I'll get any chance to record anything there. If I do, I'll just put up as a short on the video on my channel. So today we have pointing down arrow with white beads. Let's try turning that light off. Problem with the camera light on this, slightest touch turns it on, so it's the right pain in the ass. Okay, that's not showing anything. Maybe one level. How's that? No light's not enough light to show you it, and it's a little bit of light's too much light. But they're basically white beads or see-through beads. Let's attach that to this one, and of course at this point we are well and truly into the turquoise blue type ones. So this is the colour for today, which of course is day 19. So if we just pop that one on there, pick up this one and hopefully not drop them everywhere. There we go. So that's where we are at the moment. So we've just done this one here. So coming along really nicely. Not much more to go. I know the thumbnail yesterday showed them all those things. Well, I just thought it'd be nice for those who don't have time to watch. They can have a quick look and see what they got, and see if that draws any more people in to look. Who knows? You never know. Don't like to try. But yeah, so not many more to go on that before we get to day 25, and then we'll be done. I'm hoping to still do some more vlogs after day 25. But it depends on what we're doing and whether I've got anything to chat to you about. I have been working on the Boo Knits shawl, but I'm in the middle of a row and I don't like to pick it up when I'm in the middle of a row. So I will show that to you probably tomorrow. I'm almost done, but I'm about to move on to a different colour set of beads because I'm running out of the other set, which we knew I would do. So I used some knowledge from some of the people in my craft group, Ali and Kate, to discuss which beads to use next, and we all agreed that the darker ones would fade too much into the yarn. It's a pretty good colour match, so they become almost invisible. So we've gone with a set that is almost the same colour as the ones I'm using. They're just slightly lighter, so it should work quite well. But I will show you that soon. So let's get on with the AITA for the day before my pizza gets any colder. So this one is it's quite an old one. It says it's from 56 days ago, so it is quite old. But I thought it was an interesting one with people going out to events at the moment. So it says, "Am I the asshole for asking the lady sitting next to me at the concert to stop knitting?" Instant response is no. I'm always going out with a project, but if it's bothering someone, I don't think they're an arsehole for asking me. but we will read through and see what she says. So it says, I went to a concert tonight at a seated venue to see a folk singer. The music is relatively tame, quiet, and fairly emotional. In my opinion, seeing this artist is a pretty immersive music experience, at least for me. I was really excited to see this particular show at a seated theatre where it's easier to just focus on the music. I'd venture a guess that most of the people who would go to this type of show are going because they're emotionally invested in the person's music. Sounds about right for a music show. The show starts and I notice this woman sitting directly next to me is knitting. Odd, I thought, but okay. I don't think it's odd. I would take a project with me, so that's just obviously someone who's not used to people who take their class with them. But as the show went on, I kept finding myself so distracted by this knitting. I must have tried for a solid 30 minutes to ignore, but the constant motion in my the side vision, and the quiet clicking of the needles kept stealing my attention away from the show. After a while, I felt like I couldn't focus on the show at all, and all I could think about was whether I should try to politely say something. The woman was with a partner, and I noticed on the other side there were 2 to 3 open seats. So I finally worked up the courage to politely say something. I thought the best and least disruptive way to do that was to write a note on my phone and show it to her, so that's what I did. That sounds fair, that's not talking over and disturbing anyone else. And it makes sure that they can hear. So the note said, and this is a direct copy paste, I'm so sorry to ask you, and I know this is probably ridiculous, but the knitting is distracting me from enjoying the show. Would you mind either stopping or moving 1 seat over? Again, I'm sorry. Well, that sounds like a perfectly nice way to ask someone, and I would not be offended by that. If there's seats that are empty further along, I don't see a problem with moving along so that I'm not disturbing someone. If we go to a show, yes, I like to take my knitting with me, and it helps with my anxiety to be actively doing something. I can't sit there and not do anything. But if there's a way for me not to distract someone else's enjoyment and move along, then that's perfectly fair, perfectly reasonable, I think. So it carries on to say, I don't know, I assumed anyone who knitted in public, and especially someone at this kind of very chill show, was probably a genuinely chill human. Yeah, it looks receiving, not everyone's so nice in class. So I was not expecting the kind of negative reaction that followed. The woman gave me the nastiest look and let out an angry sigh and threw up her hands, dramatically stuffing her knitting into a bag, huffed and puffed to her partner, and they got up and completely left the show. I was so baffled by how angry she got, especially since I tried really hard to phrase this politely as I could. I even considered that maybe there's a reason beyond my understanding why someone might not be able to sit still during a show and might need to keep their hands busy. Neurodivergence, some sort of recovery, some other reason. So she's thought of these reasons. This is really good. So I really tried to avoid speaking up out of sensitivity, and again it's why I included the suggestion that maybe she could just slide over instead of stopping completely. I realised that knitting is definitely not the most disruptive thing a person could do, and I couldn't tell if me asking her to stop was unreasonable, and maybe I should have just sucked it up. But I thought I was polite about it, and I should really and I'm still really shocked about how mad she got, and even more shocked that she completely left the show halfway through the set. So, am I the asshole for asking her to stop knitting or to move 1 seat over? No, I don't think she is. I think she considered why this person might be doing it. She considered and tried very hard to ignore this person, and she was obviously having a genuine problem with it, and she asked very politely if the lady could either stop or move along. I would not be offended if someone asked me that, and I would either stop or move along. I don't see a problem with that. So I don't think she's the arsehole. I actually think the person knitting is the arsehole for not being considerate of other people's needs. Because it's not that hard to just move along a couple of seats. Even in my wheelchair, I'd shift along somewhere if I could. And it's not that hard to put it down if it's really a bother. Yes, we use these things to keep us going, but it shouldn't be at the detriment of someone else who's there enjoying the show. And it's not like the previous one where the woman was just offended that her sister-in-law or his sister-in-law, I wasn't quite sure, they were offended they'd ever do any of that sort of stuff out and about. They had no understanding. This person clearly had an understanding that they might be doing this for a reason and tried to politely explain the situation, give them options, and ask them to think of others. And I don't think that's that bad at all. I think that was very well done. And yes, I would not be offended if someone asked me to either stop or move along in that polite manner. If they were rude about it, yeah, then I might be a bit of a bitch. But she was clearly very polite about it, so I don't know what the problem is. And I don't know why that lady would have got up and left. That just seems like an overreaction. So what do you guys think anyway? Thank you for those who commented in the last one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy this one. As I said, I have a bunch more saved up to do. Some are older ones, some are newer ones. I keep finding other new ones as well. And if you know of any, let me know. But I think it's quite good fun to read these out and get what other people's opinions are. Because we all have different opinions, and clearly the knitting lady thought this was very rude. But I don't think it was very rude. I think it was a perfectly reasonable request, written in a very reasonable way. And I don't see what the problem is. So I'm going to go and eat my pizza, which is probably very cold at this point because I know I am. But I will see you all tomorrow to open day 20 and hopefully show you that shawl. But either way, you'll take care. Bye.